stealing the show. Alright. Hey guys. So we got our own little panel today.
Yay!
Say hi. Good to see you guys again. It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
When was the last time? I know the last one I had with you was Spider-Man.
Yes.
When was the last time you were with?
Like 4 months ago.
It wasn't as long ago as...
Yeah, no, it wasn't that long ago.
I think it was a movie we saw with Grant.
No, it was,
No, we didn't see it together.
No, we didn't see it together. We saw Valerian.
No, I thought we saw it together too.
Did we do it? Did we?
Yeah, because Grant was there. And we remember we talked about, like, how come the fat kid doesn't have...
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember now. Yeah.
It was it, yeah. We did see Valerian together before that, though.
Yes, that's, I'm just, my internal clock's all fucked up since I got back.
So I think it came out on September 22nd.
So it's been about a month.
Yeah.
A little over. So...
About a month and a half for you two.
We don't need the exact semantics. So...
Raised by lawyers.
Anywho, so yeah, Thor Ragnarok. Everyone's going apeshit over it. What did you guys think?
I liked it, but I don't think it's the best Marvel movie that's been released, which is what it's been, like, dubbed as by the, like, media.
I had a lot of fun watching this movie. I wouldn't say that it is the best Marvel movie that's been released or even the best comic book movie that's been released this year. I will say it's the best Thor movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, without
That's
a doubt.
true.
No, I would agree. I think the parts that work are fucking awesome. It does definitely have issues, I would say, particularly most in the first act, in my opinion. But no, this movie is a fucking blast.
Yes.
I will say that much about it. I do think it was a fucking blast. The acting alone is so fucking good in this movie.
And I really liked Taika Waititi's direction as well.
Wow, you can actually pronounce that name on the first go. I've seen it a million times. I still have no idea how to fucking say it.
Taika Waititi.
Well, now I know. It sounds like something from Maui. Or Moana, not Maui. Anyway, my lack of cultural sensitivity aside, no, like, I do agree. Like, is it the best Marvel movie ever? No.
I'd never say that.
Nah.
I'd say it was good. I definitely agree with the statement that it was the best Thor movie.
Yes.
Yeah. And I like the first Thor movie. Second one is the more forgettable Marvel movie out there. It's kind of up there with Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
But sorry, got a husky who's chasing her tail, and it's really distracting.
So we know she's not. She knows that we're not giving her attention, so she's like, "Look at the cute thing they're doing."
So
as you attack my
if you can't tell,
with your tongue.
we're in Amarissa's apartment right now, and this is the husky.
Right, fanfiction about Arya.
Yes.
She's cute.
She is cute.
I'm surprised it's not something about Max after the amount he's been in the video so far. But no, just like we all pretty much saw this yesterday.
Yes.
Or you saw this
I saw it this morning.
Or this morning. Wow. Okay, first day of the morning. Good for you.
Yeah. Well, it's $8 for each.
Nice.
So catch those matinees.
Yeah.
I caught a 7 o'clock showing last night.
Well, I was gonna see Jigsaw by myself yesterday, and then I realized I really didn't want to. So I was more like, well, can we make this work for tomorrow? Because we can make it work tomorrow means I don't have to see this today.
Yeah.
I can put it off for a day. So yeah, let's actually dig into the movie a bit. I did like this movie. Like, Chris Hemsworth is so fucking good in this movie.
Yeah.
Which I like this movie took advantage of his comedic timing more than I think any of the Thor movies. Which is appreciated because the humor felt really forced in the first two movies.
It did.
And I gave
it felt forced at times in this movie still, though.
Yeah, like, again, a lot of my issues kind of fall in the first act, though, where I felt like it kind of felt the most forced, in my opinion.
I feel like it felt most forced when Hulk became Bruce Banner.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that.
That felt forced to me, just because, I mean, I understand why he was acting that way, because he was like, oh, I've been Hulk for 2 years, so I'm acting weird, but it just felt so out of his character, because usually he's like the calm, collected, like smart, and then he was just acting really like goofy, which felt kind of out of his
I don't know, to me, I would say that's mostly just because, again, you wake up after 2 years, realize everything is different, it's been 2 fucking years, and you're on an alien planet where you know nothing about.
I mean, if I were him, I would have freaked out too.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, it just felt out of his character.
I was okay with it.
Like, he spent all of the Avengers, like, being like, yeah, I've learned how to control my anger, and like that's my secret. I'm always angry, and like he made it seem like he spent all this time being able to like calm down and control himself.
Well, like that's kind of something they point out in the movie too, when he's talking about like how the 2 hands on the wheel thing, but this time he felt like he was locked in the trunk. So they kind of explained that in the movie.
A little bit.
At least what I got out of it. I did like this movie kind of plugged up some plot holes from some of the other old movies, like for how you can see the Infinity Gauntlet in the throne room in the first Thor movie. This one, they just go, no, that's a fake. Fuck that one. Most of this shit's fake.
I really liked her as a villain.
Oh, she was great. Yeah.
Kate Blanchett did a really good job.
Oh, Kate Blanchett's Hela was fucking great.
She was a boss.
I still liked. I liked Ego better if I had to pick ranked villains this year.
Ego.
The Living Planet from Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh fuck, who was it who played that one?
I can't remember his name.
Kurt Russell, thank you.
Yeah.
Or like, this has actually been like a really good year for horror villains. Now that I think about it, between like this and Michael Keaton as the Vulture,
Yes.
and Kate Blanchett as Hela. It's been a pretty fucking good year for.
Sorry, she's running laps in there.
Okay, what the hell am I here?
Oh my god, you're gonna hurt my ankle.
Oh.
Can you calm down, please? We get it. You're cute.
No, I don't think you do.
It's been a really good year for comic book movies as well.
Well, we'll see what happens with Justice League next month.
Oh yeah.
That's we've had all these great scores, and then there's Justice League, which still has Zack Snyder's fingerprints all over it.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking forward to it.
I'm not exactly enthused either.
But it could be good. Maybe it'll surprise me. Maybe it'll be good. I mean, Spider-Man did. I didn't think I was going to be that good, but
I still haven't even seen Spider-Man. I don't know. I feel like I'm burnt out on it's like they've remade Spider-Man so many times, and everyone was raving about him in was it one of the
Amazing Spider-Man 2?
No, the new Spider-Man kid. He was
Tom Holland?
Yeah, he was in which movie first?
Civil War.
It was Civil War.
Yeah.
I didn't care for him in that. Everyone was
Really?
obsessed with him, and I don't care for him. And so I didn't bother seeing this with the new
Well, I guess if you don't like Tom Holland, it's not probably going to do anything for you.
Yeah.
But fair enough.
To each their own.
Yeah, I know Ron hates the new Spider-Man, and to the point where it's like, we need to make a video about how much I hate this movie.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, I think it was that. Like, even if you don't like it, I don't know if you can say it's that bad. But then again, Muha loves Batman vs Superman. I can't fucking stand that movie. So that's gonna we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. But no, back to Thor Ragnarok. So yeah, I think once it got to Sakaar and the Hulk, and they got the Hulk in there, that's kind of when the movie turned around for me, because I love the direction they went with the Hulk in this movie. It was a really smart direction. It really made the character a lot more interesting rather than you just growls and grunts and smash things, which is fun. I enjoy that. But here they kind of make him this tantruming 3-year-old kind of mentality. Even to the point where he even does the little like a little kid does when he's angry, which I thought was great. Which is also Mark Ruffalo doing the voice and stuff for that too.
I was wondering about that.
No, that was him. So I loved all that. I thought all that was really good. Again, it just goes back to the characters do have really good chemistry with each other. The new character Valkyrie is a lot of fun too. I really liked her.
Yeah, I liked her too. I thought she would have a little bit more fighting scenes. I mean, she had some at the end, but I mean maybe she'll just have a bigger role in future movies. I'm not sure, because they kind of hinted at a romance maybe between Thor and her.
Yeah, I think they've done the comic books, but I don't remember. I don't know. I know this also about obviously this movie borrows heavily from the Planet Hulk storyline, which is where all the stuff in Sakaar and all that stuff comes from. Granted, they changed it dramatically, which is not necessarily a bad thing. For one, the characters of Meek and
they were great. Oh my god.
And Crawl, what was his name? Crawl?
I can't remember.
The rock guy?
The rock guy, yeah, wannabe thing.
They were fucking hilarious.
No, they were great in the characters, but great in the movie. They were vastly different in the comics. So different. Which, again, I don't mind change if it's good or it's entertaining or it's interesting. I don't like it when you change something and it sucks.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Death Note.
I didn't even bother watching
Good
it.
don't.
Me either.
But either way, because in the comics, Krull is much more of a the Hearthstone, more straightforward warrior type. This was hey man, we're against the revolution. You want to come? It's sure, we'll come tag along. Meek has a bigger role in the comic books too. He actually talks in that one. This one he doesn't. I get why they made that change though, because I don't know a way that they could adapt that character to screen that wouldn't be, for lack of a better term, jar-jarring it.
Yeah.
Because he talks to her like, Meek is her friend, Meek, her, like a Smeagol thing. It's like, I don't know how you could do that character without being immensely irritating.
Yeah.
People that like that story kind of admit like Meek kind of sucks. Hi. Hello again. Look at me. Hi. Want to say hi to the camera? No? No. Just scratch me forever.
Okay, fine.
But no, like this one, like again, it changes a lot from the source material, but it's done in a way that's at the very least entertaining, which I appreciate. Like the Jeff. Can we talk about Jeff Goldblum for a minute?
Yes. That was great. I didn't realize.
Did you stay for the after credit scenes?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until stop.
Aria, no, stop.
Until later on that was Jeff Goldblum.
How do you not recognize Jeff Goldblum immediately? It's Jeff Goldblum.
It's been a while since I've seen Jurassic Park. Okay.
And I'm just saying, but it's like it's Jeff Goldblum as most Jeff Goldblumiest. It's like I just don't know how you do not instantly recognize him. I'm saying Arnold Schwarzenegger's really aged in the past 20 years. I don't know, just saying.
Makeup, costume, out of context. I didn't recognize his voice at first.
Okay, fair enough. Hi, yes, you're very cute. You were just such a little camera hog.
Yeah, she is.
But like he's having, you can tell these people are just having so much fucking fun making this film. And again, Jeff Goldblum is having a fucking blast making this, as is just
every time him and his his cohort or whatever, and he would be like, "What's the word?" And then she would just give him like the complete.
Just like what we were saying, you are trash. No, it's like no. I said start with a G. That was
with a B.
Or a B. Sorry, the best.
That's
Whose head? Yeah.
Or like my favorite one where it's like all the slaves were revolted. Like, no, I don't like that word. Like but these are like I'm sorry, prisoners' jobs.
I like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
And again, just him schmaltzing it up as much as he fucking can.
My wrist is not a chew toy. I'm sorry.
Aria, stop.
Okay, fine.
The after credit scene.
The Jeff Goldblum is like, you can't have Revolution without me, so you're welcome. And I also like kind of what the twist they did at the very end with kind of how the issues get resolved. I thought that was pretty clever. It also ties into something they do in the comics too. And I can't give away spoilers, so we've already kind of given some shit away, so spoil them here or not. Nothing that's not in the trailer. But like it ends with they kind of tease in the trailers. It's going to end with like a big climactic fight against Surtur, the fire demon that's inevitably destined to destroy Asgard and all that stuff. Just kind of done as a throwaway joke in the actual movie, which I thought was pretty funny. I thought it was a pretty funny joke. Where it's like, Hulk, don't smash, but big monster! Like all confused. God damn it, I love the Hulk in this movie.
Me too.
Did you like him in this movie, or? I'm gathering by your silence, you're not a huge fan.
I'm somewhere in the middle of it, because I did think it was, he definitely had good comedy, but then at times it just seemed like forced comedy to me, but...
I don't know, I don't think he did anything that was out of character for him.
I don't know, I thought it was kind of out of character, but that's because he was being very goofy versus being I'm Hulk smashing things. And I think that's what I had expected out of him, but I think, I see... it was a very Marvel move of them to make him this comedic
Well, I mean, I think the justification they gave it at the time was because he's been in the Hulk form for longer than he ever has before, that his mentality has been growing, which is why in this movie he has a mentality of kind of like a 3-year-old basically. And it's why the vocabulary kind of matches that as much too. So that's the way I kind of went into it, knowing that. So I was like, that's why it didn't really bother me. I really enjoyed it.
That makes sense.
And I was thinking, it gives the character actually something to do, rather than, again, just be the giant smashy monster.
Well, I think what I liked about him in the other movies, because I recently rewatched The Avengers, and it's Banner was always calm and collected, and when he turned into the Hulk, people were scared of him. And, in this, people didn't seem scared of him.
Well,
different. He's not a threat now.
Well, they were entertained by him, so they were fans because they didn't know him as Banner.
This is true. It's a fair point. Like, keep in mind, like, presumably by the time he got there, he's instantly thrown in the arena. He had no chance for anyone to actually be afraid of him. And even then, that kind of culture, you're kind of used to murderers and, like, dirty nerf herders and all that stuff all around. So, like...
This didn't seem, like, threatening to me, which is what I think, like, the whole point of Hulk is, like, you don't want to see him go. Like, the whole point of Hulk is, like, trying to control your anger so that you don't...
I mean, the Hulk's gone through so many iterations, too, in the comics, too. This is hard, like, he's not always just been the angry rage monster, too. In the Planet Hulk story, just alone, he does actually talk quite a lot in that storyline, too. But, no, it's like, so that didn't bother me, and I think it seemed to me, personally, like a natural growth of the character. Because, again, the problem is you can have, that was the problem why you can never make a standalone Hulk movie, is because we got the actual Hulk right. It's cool to see him smash, but there's nothing to it. It's like, so that's why, like, a Hulk movie is so hard to a Hulk solo movie is so hard to fucking do. The only time he ever really worked was in the Avengers, and that's because he was very sparingly used. So, like, in order to make the character more interesting, make it more something you want to watch more of, you do kind of have to change it. So, like, in this way, I thought it made sense. I thought it was clever. And honestly, it's pretty true to the comics, because he's done this a lot in the comic books, too. He has been made kind of the butt of the joke. Like, there was one panel, an example, like, with him and Spider-Woman, I think it was. Spider-Woman has, like, pheromone manipulating powers or some shit like that. And at one point, he was like, Hulk isn't like, Hulk follows no one's orders. And he goes, Hulk, make me a sandwich. And the next one is Hulk holding, like, a sandwich covered in mustard and shit. He goes, Hulk, hope you like it. So, like, it's not outside the character. The character's gone through so many iterations. Many of these characters have. I'll take it back. Thor's been actually pretty consistent throughout the years, except when they try to make it more extreme. That's where the beard came from. They did the same thing with Aquaman, which is why we're getting that version of the movie.
Interesting.
So that didn't bother me. I actually thought the way they did
Aria, no.
Sorry.
It's
no,
okay.
You're fine. She's being a brat.
It's okay. So that didn't. I really liked the way they do it. Actually, I like the way they handled it. I thought it was truly characters that I grew up with. I guess. So I guess it depends on what you're looking for with a character. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I still think I think it paired well comedically with Thor. Like, I think they played well with each other. Like, I was cracking up when you see Hulk throwing the ball, and then Thor tries to throw the ball through the window and just, like, smacks him in the face.
It was a convincing buddy comedy.
Yeah.
And apparently, from what they've said too, like, this is like the first like part of a larger arc they have for that character, apparently. And there are some very subtle touches to, like, the constant inner struggle, like, him and Banner constantly have, too. When he does revert back to Bruce Banner. And again, I thought that was cleverly done, because, like, in the Avengers 1 and 2, it's paired as much more 50-50. This one is very much the Hulk's in control, and Bruce Banner is the one that's kind of left in the dust. And when he eventually does kind of snap back to Bruce Banner, you can tell he's actively trying to not let that happen.
It seems like in that moment where he was, like, lost in the crowd and he was, like, freaking out, it seemed like he was, like, having a panic attack, and it just...
He basically was.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. For me, it just felt like I thought that he would have had more control in that kind of scenario.
Keep in mind, by the time Hulk comes in this, he's only barely aware of aliens' existence.
I guess, but he's seen other things before, and he's, like, gone through these things before. So
on Earth, yes.
It shouldn't be that, I don't know.
Like, if you woke in a 2-year coma, it's like, oh, by the way, 2 years have passed, been a monster for 2 of those years, you're on a brand new planet, as far away from home as you can possibly fucking get, and by the way, when you go back to my home space, stop the goddess of death and a giant fire monster. How would you take that? And anyway, going, what the fuck? I need to process this. Wait, we can't? We gotta move? Okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
So that's kind of, again, that just comes down to interpretations, and we'll see what they do with Infinity Wars, too. So I can argue about the time Infinity Wars rolls around to be more adjusted to it. I don't know how much Mark Ruffalo outside the Hulk is actually going to be in Infinity Wars now that I think about it.
Well, the main thing that's been confirmed about the first Infinity Wars movie is that the Avengers are going to meet the Guardians.
Oh, there's been a lot confirmed about the Infinity War already. Pretty much every character that's ever appeared in a Marvel movie up to this point is going to be in it.
I did like that Stephen Strange made an appearance in this.
Yes!
See, that was something I thought was kind of unnecessary.
I liked it.
I liked it too, but I was kind of like, you could have cut this.
It was a nice tie-in, though.
It was. But that was kind of like with something like the Captain America cameo in Thor 2, where it's kind of like, all right, that was funny, but you didn't need that. That's kind of like, I guess that's my way of interpreting it too. Don't nod like that. No, that's an ice pack. You stop that. Yeah, you do. It's like, and granted, it's nice to see Benedict Cumberbatch's American accent's getting better.
I think it
Yes.
did play a role. I mean, I guess, because how would they have found Odin?
I mean, all they could have done is send like, oh, instead of Loki doing like for a throwaway joke of, oh, I put him in a nursing home. He's like, oh, I left him in Norway. Boom, you could have easily written Doctor Strange completely out of the movie.
I guess, but would Odin have just sat there and stayed in Norway, or?
Apparently, he did.
Well, he is a god, so...
Yeah.
That wasn't where he originally was, though.
True. How the hell did he get to Norway?
The world may never know.
I'm just gonna say that he used his god powers to get there.
Yeah. So like clear, and like he said it, like you put him under a spell to like a long time to break out of to begin with, and once he did, that's when he knew he'd decided to not go back to Asgard. But yeah, like I was like, I'm glad. I'm not saying I wish it wasn't there, but I was like, narratively, it's like, yeah, you probably could have done without that. Because originally this movie was apparently only an hour and a half. That they got out to 2 hours and 10 minutes because they put a lot of the jokes back in.
I heard that a lot of the jokes and much of the on-screen banter was improv.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think one of my favorite lines was when Hulk grabbed Thor and like ragdolled him, and Loki's like, "Yes, that's all real."
Yes, I picked up on that too.
But that kind of leads to a good point though, because who was terrified when the Hulk actually showed up in the movie? Someone who's actually dealt with him before.
Yeah, exactly.
But no one else has really dealt with him on this planet before.
Get down, down. You're blocking my face. Down, down. Make your butt off.
Who was, again, just petrified the minute he saw him. He was like, I need to get off this planet. So kind of going back to your point on that, though, is like, people were scared, but no one's ever actually had to deal with a direct confrontation with it, except for the person that has, who was absolutely fucking terrified.
Yeah, that's true.
So, again, like, take it from a grain of salt. Anyway, back to the thing I liked about this. I did kind of like how they decided, apparently Hela, when she's on Asgard, has limitless power. Nothing can stop her.
Sorry, that's Jarvis.
Nice.
Damn it, Jarvis. Wait, how do you get that app?
It's a what's the word? A message tone?
Okay, I gotta look at that later.
Cool.
But anywho, so they decided basically it's like the only way to do it is basically to blow up Asgard by basically starting Ragnarok, which they have to summon the fire demon Ragnarok. I know I'm saying it wrong. To basically just level the entire fucking planet altogether. Which leads me curious to see what they're gonna do if they do make another Thor movie, or even like the Infinity War, the next couple Avengers movie. Because the big thing is, Ragnarok does happen in the comics eventually, but Thor moves everything to like, I think it was like Texas or something like that, somewhere in the Midwest, where he just puts like a gigantic fuck off castle like in the middle of nowhere, and that's where he decides to rebuild Asgard.
And he still could do that.
Yeah, even though like most of the main people from the first two movies are just fucking dead. Like,
yes.
Like they just killed off like Volstagg and Zachary Quinto
Dude,
like in a fucking heartbeat.
Confused. I'm like, what?
Did they kill off Lady Sif too?
No, she's not in the movie.
I didn't remember seeing her, but I wasn't sure.
No, they had a scheduling conflict apparently. They wanted to get her in there, but which is probably for the best. I mean, she's probably still alive somewhere.
Yeah.
The only one still alive out of just Heimdall.
Like, by the time I realized that was Zachary
Quinto.
Not Quinto. Levi.
Yeah.
And I find
Shazam.
by the time I realized that was Zach Levi, he gets killed, and I was just like, what? What? No! I mean, I like Zach Levi as a human, so I didn't really know, like, I mean,
he
his
was in the
character
second
wasn't,
one.
yeah, he was in, definitely in multiple, I think he was in the first one too.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't?
No, they recast him between movies.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But, I like Zach Levi, so I was sad for him just to get murdered right away.
It's like, well, fine, fuck you, I'm off to DC! No, he is now, actually. He's playing Shazam in the Captain Marvel movie. Oh, they're not calling it Captain Marvel. So he's gonna face off against The Rock.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So see how that goes.
Interesting.
But yeah.
Who did they cast as Captain Marvel?
For the Marvel stuff?
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson.
Oh, they did go with her? I
Yeah.
remember they were talking about that. Because I know that was like in talks for like a long time, but I didn't even know they were actually like...
No, they're making it. It's coming out like next year.
Oh, wow.
Brie Larson has the Skrulls as the villains, and Nick Fury's in it. Takes place in the 90s.
Wow.
It's in production. So.
And she's going to be in the next Avengers movie coming out in 2019. So that'd be fun.
Yes.
I'm curious to see how they explain how she's not around for the entirety of the Marvel timeline. However it is nowadays, it's pretty fucked up at this point.
It used to make sense, and it doesn't anymore.
That's kind of one of the things. At this point, it's like, you know what? I'm just choosing to just go along with it. Just fuck it. Just fuck it. But no, this movie is a lot of fun, though. I do highly recommend it. Is it the best Marvel movie ever?
No.
No. I do think I think we kind of have our own separate issues with it.
Best Thor movie, though, yes.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I like the first Thor movie. I thought it was a pretty good movie.
And I'm one of the few people who enjoyed the second Thor movie, but I acknowledge that it had pacing issues.
That one has not aged well with time.
No, it has not.
Was there any lingering complaints or things you want to talk about?
No, I don't think anything that anything else that I would complain. Like, I did really thoroughly enjoy it, and I think it was really funny. I felt like it was really intense when Bruce jumps. I know it's supposed to be a joke when he jumps out.
Oh, when he just fucking dies?
I was like, that's dark as fuck. Like, it's like, you know, I don't know, I was just like, holy fuck.
Which is down one is like, so we see this.
Like, I get it, it's supposed to be funny, but I was like,
No, I was kind of right there with you.
It was really intense, like.
No, I'm right there with you. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of had me gasping as well as like, oh, wake up, hurry.
Well, I knew he wasn't gonna die because he mentions in the Avengers that, you know, he's put a gun in his mouth and pulled the trigger and like like, you know, basically he can't die.
I mean, God, it would be like amazing if like that's just like killed off that.
That would be so scripted. That would be, oh my god.
Biggest twist of the fucking year.
That would have been, yes.
I mean, I also give them the credit, like, they did do some clever editing with the trailers to hide some of the bigger plot twists in the movie, like how Thor loses an eye.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Because I know, I haven't read enough of, like, I've basically just started reading, like, new Thor, like the female Thor.
Yeah.
So I don't really know a whole lot of comic book Thor, or like.
He still has 2 eyes last
I was like, I don't remember him
checked.
losing any eyes in any of the comics, and I mean in the new comics he loses an arm. But
Yeah.
he hasn't lost an eye, but I
That's
was
a
just
new
like, oh
one.
wow, that's interesting. I wonder.
I get it,
Like,
symbolism.
I guess it symbolizes like symbolization of like him becoming the new Odin, but
Basically.
I feel like I had one more thing that I wanted to say and I can't remember what it was.
We never did talk about Tom Hiddleston.
I loved his performance in this.
He's like the most consistently entertaining thing in the
Yeah,
Marvel universe.
I like him. I'm curious to see what his role is going to be in Age of Ultron.
I mean, Infinity Wars?
I mean, yeah, Infinity Wars.
He's in Age of Ultron? Fuck!
I meant to say Infinity Wars.
From what I've heard, it looks like he becomes like Thanos' advisor.
Oh.
That he's probably gonna backstab at one point because he's like, I think he hands him the Infinity Gauntlet, or not Infinity Gauntlet, the
Tesseract.
The Tesseract. Yeah.
That's what I was, because I mean, you see him like look at it when he's going down to
reacquaint himself.
No, when he brings back the fire demon guy.
Yeah.
He like looks at it, and you know he's not gonna just leave it there to
Yeah.
destroy it. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
I imagine in order to complete the Infinity Gauntlet, he has to give it to Thanos.
I just kind of was confused about one little thing so the fire demon destroys Asgard.
Yeah.
Did they leave the Tesseract in destroyed Asgard?
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
pretty sure
assuming Loki took it.
Yeah, I'm assuming
Okay.
Loki took it.
Either it's floating in space somewhere because you can't destroy it.
This is true.
It's an Infinity Stone. You can't destroy it. And I'm assuming that's Thanos' ship that pops up at the very end, the after credit scene.
I was
what I
wondering
assumed.
whose ship that was.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's a pretty safe assumption. It's
Yeah.
Thanos' ship, which leads right into Infinity Wars, where Thor meets the Guardians of the Galaxy. Which is how that works. How they released the trailer footage at Comic-Con.
Nice.
Yeah, so we know for a fact they're in it. Like, there's a scene like Doctor Strange helping out Star-Lord and shit.
That'll be interesting to see those
Yeah.
two personalities together.
I'm just curious, like, from what I've seen off camera, I'm really curious how Bandit Cumberbatch and Spider-Man do together. Because apparently they've been buddy-buddies, which implies they probably have a lot of scenes together in the movie. So, I'll be curious.
Definitely.
I mean, I like Tom Holland. I know you don't like him.
I don't care for him.
It's worth watching for Michael Keaton at the very least, because Michael Keaton's great.
Yes.
He is easily one of the best Marvel villains they have.
Okay.
Excellent performance.
Mostly because he's kind of more of a Joe Schmo, just trying to pay the rent, basically. Who does so by having a giant winged monster suit.
A chaotic neutral father.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. So yeah, like, if I were to rank this as far as movies that came out this year, I don't know, would you guys say Guardians 2 is better?
I would personally put this a little higher than Guardians 2, for me anyhow.
The pacing's better.
Yes, the pacing is better, and the laughs that I did watching this movie were bigger than Guardians 2. I actually got kind of choked up watching Guardians 2, but this was a little bit more fun, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think they're about in the same range because a lot
It's
of people,
pretty close.
A lot of people were saying I actually like Guardians 1 better than 2, and a lot of people like 2
Me too.
better than 1.
So I'd say I've talked, like, people are kind of 50-50 on that
Yeah.
one. Like, you can honestly make a case for either one is better.
But yeah, I'd say they are probably around the same realm for me. And that's why I wouldn't say that this Thor is the best Marvel movie because
No.
there's definitely other
No.
movies that have come out recently that are equally, if not better.
Yeah.
But I'd say it's about around the same realm as Guardians 2.
And, like, my favorite is still Captain America 2.
Yeah, that was,
Yes.
The Winter
Yeah.
Soldier was so good.
And Civil War is great too. It's like Captain America 2 just ended just a little bit more than Civil War for me. So that one's still personally my favorite because I think that did it well. Kind of balanced everything pretty well.
I'm still a huge fan of Deadpool.
Well, under the Marvel Cinematic Universe. As much as we love to see Deadpool and stuff, well, that's not going to happen.
Oh, that would be amazing
That
though.
would be hilarious.
The director said, like, what is the character you want to throw in there? It's like, oh, totally Deadpool, but, can't because laws and shit. Which is a direct quote.
Because they legit, call that shit out,
I was like, for like two X-Men in
Yeah.
your movie. Which kind of sucks. My girlfriend hates Deadpool. Yeah.
I love Deadpool.
Me too.
No, I mean, I can get why. Because if that's not kind of humor, it can be really obnoxious.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes. Hi. Are you coming to say so you can get more smooching? So no, this is definitely worth seeing. This is definitely worth your time, I'd say.
It's definitely worth seeing on the big screen at least once.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like the difference is mainly boiled down to how we think these characters should be interpreted. Is what I'm kind of getting at out of this conversation.
And I mean, it would be a completely different movie if they didn't do it that way, so I understand and I'm not upset about it. I just feel like it felt a little off for me, but that's the only reason why I wouldn't think it was I think I would rate this movie like an 8 out of 10, maybe?
Yeah, I'll give it a solid 8.5.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah,
it's,
I agree.
I think it's still really good.
Yes.
So I'm not I wouldn't say, that ruined the movie for me. No, that's just something that, if I had to make a comment about something that felt like a negative to me, but it was still really good. I really enjoyed the Hulk, and I thought the whole kind of exchange between him and Thor, he's like, no, I like you better, and then when he talks to Thor, no, I like you better, the other guy's like that.
Such a charming manipulator.
Okay.
That
Chris
royal prince.
Hemsworth is so charming.
Strongest Avenger.
Strongest Avenger. Damn you, Spock. And then what was the one that actually unlocked it? Goldilocks or something?
Point Break.
Point Break. That's what it was.
I also love that they used the Led Zeppelin song in the movie, not just in the trailer.
Oh yeah,
that was really that was
Yeah.
fun. I
Yes.
think that makes the fight scenes a lot more fun. Oh yeah, I was gonna say something about the frickin' rifles that the guy had. I thought it was funny,
Scourge,
but
yeah.
how many
Bullets
did he
yeah.
have? Because an automatic rifle would have like 30 to 40 rounds, and he was going like forever, and then like a minute in, he like runs out, and I'm just like, that would have happened like 55 seconds ago, because on fully automatic, you would run out of ammunition.
In the same
like,
sequence,
super fast.
where the Hulk and Thor and Valkyrie are fighting an army of zombie Vikings with a giant fuck-off wolf on a rainbow bridge in Asgard. Oh, the bullets don't make any sense in this movie.
That's the thing. Everything else, you know that has a mystical element to it. However, guns are
Magic bullets!
No, that's bullshit.
From Texas?
From Texas.
Maybe he enchanted it, we don't know.
No.
It's Asgard.
That.
He's got magic bullets.
No.
I mean, I love Carl Urban, but I will admit that is one character I also could have probably done without.
Yeah, I didn't really care for his character very much.
Yeah, like that's when I feel like, okay, you could have cut him out.
Even like right off the bat, where he's like trying to impress those girls, I'm like,
Yeah, it's like, it wasn't, like, a lot of issues I had, mostly until they got to Sakaar, like, yeah, it's funny, it's not, I'm not
If that's
as
where
invested
it
as...
felt forced humor.
Yeah,
to me.
that, I agree.
His character, I felt like a lot of his like humor scenes felt forced.
Yeah.
What did you think of the use of the Willy Wonka?
That was pretty funny.
When Thor is
In the chair.
yeah.
That was pretty
Would have been great. They probably couldn't get the rights to it, but if they actually do like the "Is it rain? Is it pouring?" Better than the Tim Burton version anyway.
Yes.
I never saw it.
They're good.
You're not missing much.
No, you are not.
Well, Willy Wonka legit scared me as a child, so I had no interest in seeing it again, like in a different reimagining.
It's like, Johnny Depp! Oh, but by the way, did you guys catch the Matt Damon cameo in this movie?
No.
Was that really him?
That was Matt Damon!
Wait, who?
He looked like he gained weight.
He did Suburbicon recently, so I guess he was the play version of Loki.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like,
Oh my
I was like,
god!
is that him?
Yeah, that's
He looks
totally
a little
Matt
chubby,
Damon.
though, so maybe it's not.
No, it's totally Matt Damon.
Oh my
That's
god!
hilarious.
It was like, wow, that's random. That's why I was really wondering if Thor was like Ben Affleck. And I was looking for it, I was a little bummed that it wasn't. It's like, he's Batman now. Of course it can't be him. We can't have nice things. But yeah, so that was it. It was also fun to see Anthony Hopkins go, oh shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, this movie is still a ton of fun. It's got problems, but I think it's still definitely the Marvel's on a roll. You know, it's fucking Marvel at this point.
I don't think it has nearly as many problems as the second
Oh god no.
movie did.
God no. For one, the villain is actually interesting. It has a bit more depth.
She's so cool.
Rather than I'm a villain, I make pronunciations, I will conquer the world. This one is like, this actually kind of makes, you kind of get what she's about pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Even though it's like, I want to conquer all, you can tell it's like, that's just in her nature.
Yeah, she's
You
the
know?
freaking goddess of death.
Yeah.
Like, that's her thing.
Just to make sure just a ton of daddy issues and just a lot of pent up bitterness.
They all have daddy issues, though.
Yeah,
That's
but, like-
not just her.
Yeah, true. It is very Asgardian, or very, like, honestly, mythology in general has a lot of daddy issues.
The friend that I saw this with posed a fan theory that Hela is going to meet Thanos and say, I'm moving in, and he's just going to have to deal with it.
Well, Thanos will kick her ass, realistically, because Asgard's blown to fucking pieces.
Well, she is the goddess of death, and
On Asgard?
but he's been trying to court death.
Yeah, that was one.
Yeah, true. Man, I'm curious how they go the whole death route. Yeah, that'll be the real gamble, honestly, because like first off, you got to introduce the Infinity, like Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet and do all this stuff. Also, like, oh, by the way, it's a personification of death. She's a lady. She's right over there. So that's gonna be. I'm curious to see how they'll do that. I know the Russo brothers already described Infinity Wars as a heist film, which is kind of curious. Because it's basically probably like folks sound like more like on Thanos finding and taking all the Infinity Stones.
Which means that he'll basically.
So he doesn't have it already. He's trying to get them in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought the idea was that he already had them and they're gonna be in that conflict already.
No. You kind of already know where. Like for one, Vision has one on his forehead.
He doesn't have Vision.
He's
he doesn't have the Tesseract yet.
And doesn't have Doctor Strange's the Time Stone he has.
Oh right, yeah.
So it's still left to collect.
And the purple stone is being guarded by the Nova Corps.
Yeah, Power Stone.
Thank you.
So that'd be. I'm really curious to see because it's an ambitious fucking movie that's had literally 10 years worth of films to build up to.
Yes.
So it's the hype for this is insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a gamble. So yeah, it's gonna be better than the movie I'm gonna see in about 20 minutes. So.
Damn.
Yeah. But it's okay. We'll get through it. So you guys.
At least you're not seeing it alone.
Yes, thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. I am so not the audience for it, but we'll get into that later.
Do you want to come?
If I didn't just sprain my ankle like an hour ago, I'd say yes, but I just don't want to walk on it.
Fair enough. Okay. You guys have any last thoughts or anything else you want to talk before we turn off the camera?
Nah.
Definitely see it in the theater. It's a fun Thor movie.
Yeah. I had a great time. Excelsior. Stan Lee's thing,
Oh my god, Stan Lee's appearance. Every time I see Stan Lee, I just get so excited in the movies. Because you always know there's going to be a Stan Lee cameo.
Because they film like a month, they've already filmed like 4 in advance.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
And like even then, they're also pretty funny. Like, do not cut my hair. Your face, the rat, the fall. Please don't cut my hair, please. Kind sir, please don't cut my hair. And the fight between Thor and Hulk was pretty damn good. I'll say that too.
Between Thor and Hulk?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun.
When
so it kind of ends
Thor goes all like, I thought it was badass when Thor goes all like
Super Saiyan.
Yeah, basically like.
Like that. Then they also kind of ended on a stalemate, which is kind of like, all right, cop out answer. All right, I'm getting a phone call, so I gotta log off. So
Sorry.
see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.